What's up, guys? It's hard every day knowing that your government just has a hard on to murder you and a whole bunch of people just so they can. When they've taken out competition and are the premier suppliers and permit manufacturers for the controlled substances in our country just so they can do what they're about to do with AI surveillance and what they're working on right now in Chicago. And Charlie Kirk, that dude was real. That dude was he believed in what he thought, and he tried to do outreach to colleges and have just regular conversations with kids. And I want to say that the Trump campaign, they ran, he backed them, but Charlie Kirk was pretty smart. He thought for himself, and they knew that he would eventually figure out the entire length of the plan, and he would try to warn everybody, and people would listen for what's coming. Now, this is just a theory, but he was shot dead. Trump was shot in the ear by a dude that was allowed to set up and bring a ladder and a backpack and set up within a range of to open fire, where even a person that really wasn't that familiar with shooting guns but still shot some could still hit a fatal mark at that range and only get shot in the ear, and that dude just gets shot to death and killed. Now, I think that dude was told that, hey, you wing him, we'll arrest you, it'll be all good. Okay. And then they just murdered him when he thought that he was in good graces with him. And then every time it's you play on the emotions, you play on the victimization, you prey on the innocence of the situation, or you play on the hearts and minds of the people. They've done a good job of dividing. The only reason I know that this is kind of where it's going is because I've been targeted for I've known about shit since right after COVID hit. All that Antifa shit across the country. I just seen some dudes that look like agents dressed up, filling up backpacks with bricks, and then walking down to a protest in Dallas. And I watched from a very far ways away. I wasn't following them or nothing, but I seen that, and then I seen them online. And then, even me, I got baited by a dude from work that I never had a problem with, and he started some shit. And when I told him, hey man, in reality, you're hitting that keyboard real hard, try to hit me hard. You got a problem with me because you can get your teeth knocked out. Then that constituted he could whistleblow to the government, and then they would have a little something to go off of. And then they used friends that I was trying to help get them out of a situation or help them save, a legacy or whatever, their land and their property, but was lied to. I didn't do anything that they were into. I had no part of any of their stuff, and when I went back to work, these motherfuckers couldn't allow that because they already had to stop one investigation long ago, and all I did back then, I saved people. I saved people's lives. Y'all want to say that I did this? I didn't do shit except save people's lives. And my wife that I have now, I saved hers, and she didn't even realize it. because y'all were taking out the competition, and your people, they make bets about people. If they get this far in debt, then they're theirs, and they can just, you know, traffic them. And people agree to those bets and shit. And it's not people's lives aren't some bet. She had kids that I cared about, wanted to see them have a mom. And through the grace of God, she buckled down and she raised more than just her kids. She impacted a bunch. She did a good job. And she's sad about it, a lot of things. But God puts people in paths for reasons. Now, the fallout of that, I had to go do some time. Got caught with whatever, I tried to do the probation, but you guys don't want probation. Y'all want people to fail, but you want the money. You won't let them go turn themselves in. Because I tried to turn myself in, but now I get a evade and arrest because I tried turning myself in. Y'all wouldn't even do that. So then I go to work and I'm drunk and I don't want to go to jail. So I run on foot, and that stops me from ever being a normal American ever again. It's fucking bullshit, dude. When I jumped through fiery hoops and shit, and they kept on fucking me. So I go turn myself in, and they won't let me. I played y'all's game a long time ago. And when I got out, there wasn't a game to play. It was already rigged, and there was no winning it. There was no making money off of it. There was nothing. It's not a way of life anymore. It's a one-way street. So I turned my life around, and I went back to work in Dallas after trying to help people. And then one dies. One goes to jail. The other one gets popped, goes to jail. If y'all were around me or whatever and people were investigating and a good buddy of mine passed away and y'all were watching and shit, y'all are complacent with murder. And I'm pretty sure you had a person there. If you were watching me since 2019, my buddy Jeremy that got out of jail, I know he was a pretty crazy dude. And if y'all did data or statistics and shit, y'all knew that statistically he would fuck y'all up if, I said, hey man, I got a problem. So I'm pretty sure that statistically y'all took him out on them back roads, ran him off into them rocks, left him there. Nobody ever gonna see shit anyway, right? Because I know y'all are watching him. Once y'all seen him and met him. Y'all didn't even help him. And then I have a friend reach out and say I could have a place to live after people that you hired and you have working for you that know what's coming, that you use to gaslight, and you give them situations and they train for, and then you tell them to implement it, and then they do, and they're not that good at it, and I catch them, and I try to tell them, stop, and I do all the right things to know that my government ran with that situation and know that they made it. They had it in their back pocket, and they were willing to pull the trigger and use that situation and then ran on it after the fact for reasons to screw me over. It makes me sick. It makes me sad. And y'all just ran on the wrong platform. Y'all should have figured out something different, because I'm not a womanizer. I don't beat women. I told her no. And I told her no again. And I figured I was going to get made fun of. But my boss went all out. So I went all out. You motherfuckers go to extremes. And y'all thought 10 steps ahead. Well, I don't want to hurt no American citizen. I would never hurt a soldier. I would never hurt any law enforcement. But if you guys are doing the stuff that has been done to me, or you're becoming a part of it now and you weren't, please be a good person. Don't help enslave humanity. Don't sell out our souls. Don't help elite pedophiles, because there will continue to be elite pedophiles in the end. Serve and protect your communities. Love your family. And be willing to give your life so others can keep their freedom, keep their free will, keep their souls. This isn't funny. I'm not sitting here ranting and raving, guys. Sitting here twisting this thing because I want to cry. Because the shit hurts. You know, my dad was as part of their club for a minute. And I think he did some things for him. I don't know. I don't know my dad back then. I knew my dad poor. And he was proud of me and my brother playing sports and going to church. And we didn't have any money. I never knew about anything oil related that my dad used to have. The other kids did, and I'm sure they're greedy as shit, and they went after whatever they could, whatever they could find. They went after it so they could have money. Never told my father's other family, us, my mom, my brother, me. But you sure got EPA on all fours just humping the shit out of our name. Everybody's got to pay. I don't believe that. I believe that since I was a young kid that I already had this freedom thing rigged against me, and I never got a chance. And I was successful, and I was a hard worker, and I made other people millions of dollars, thousands of dollars, millions of dollars, whatever, and watched the company grow and be successful and shit. And then y'all take everything from me, even when I'm about to be caught back up and be normal again as far as financially. And y'all ruin it. And it's like y'all were never going to give me a shot or a chance to be successful on my own. Don't get me wrong, I chose to not be for a long time because I was raising kids that needed help. And now they're successful, and I hope they continue to have success, and I hope that they continue to have love in their hearts, and I hope they always remember me. But you know, now that I'm married, you know, anytime I've gotten back on my feet, y'all immediately knocked me back down. Y'all stole a whole RV, and y'all stole it. Y'all straight stole it. Used Fort Worth Police Department to help hide it and to steal it. And because y'all got their backs, they go along with whatever because y'all won't let them get in trouble. Nobody on y'all's side has to answer for anything y'all do, you know? And I just keep seeing people that were on the right track and had hope and love in their hearts and stuff, and like Charlie Kirk and Jeanette Osbard, you know, there's suicides or there's a shooting, and one by one people get just taken away, taken out, ahead of their time, the media says. But it wasn't ahead of their time. They were right on the money. And there can't be a voice of reason, a voice that can put everything together and unite people or make people think for what's coming. It's got to be a narrative that's driven by the media, that is driven by the DOJ, just like the Epstein files. You know, the Clintons Obama, Biden should have been in prison years ago. Years ago. You know, I got final ruled on my taxes and I got penalized every year. Obamacare. Did I get any money back when that was found unconstitutional? Nope. I went to jail at Fort Hood for my license being expired over a defaulted surcharge payment. Those were found to be unconstitutional. Did I get any of my money back for that? Nope. But I had to do a walkthrough, and I was on federal probation over it during an Obama speech. I don't know if that's what put me on this list of fast track shit or what, but I'm sure Obama had something to say about it. I know that it was my dad and the politicians that were in that elite club with him that were connected to his ex-wife. I know that some of y'all are satanic and y'all worship Satan. And how do I know that? Because they had a huge satanic ritual next door to my mom's trailer in a yard. And a lot of the people that were following us were parked in front of that house. And also I walked outside and I seen 3 drones and a 4th one coming in to form a circle right above their ritual. So that was kind of weird. And when I went to film it, they all just blacked out. And all those motherfuckers were standing there. I only got a little bit of footage. It's on my YouTube. If you really slow it down and you can isolate the volume, you can hear the